He's made a lot of careers. He's broken a lot of careers, and he's been very busy in Hollywood recently. And apparently, we know there's a WGA strike going on, right, everybody? We know that. We've talked about that? Yeah, I think we've talked about that. Well, apparently, Ryan Murphy might be suing the WGA because of some shenanigans about this strike. And that leads me to our featured story of the night. Everybody, I gotta talk about Ryan Murphy and this WGA strike that's still going on, still happening, and I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. It's just one of those things where it's like they've been just holding out, but producers are still shooting, and that's been a problem going on over and over again. In New York City right now, there's only 3 productions shooting right now. They've shut everything else down. They picketed until they shut down. There's only 3 productions moving forward right now, and what are they? They're all Ryan Murphy shows. You got American Sports Story, you got American Horror Story, and then American Horror Stories is now also shooting in New York. They moved from Los Angeles. Stories. Yep. This is season 3, I think now. 2 or 3. But yeah, so I think it's 3. 3 is shooting there right now as well. So they moved everything from LA over there. And apparently what happened this week, okay, so Ryan Murphy, his attorney sent a letter to the WGA saying that the Writers Guild of America have threatened him, and he's threatening a litigation against Warren Light. Warren Light's the person who's going after an East Coast strike captain who's actually been the main compliance officer with like organizing everything, all these strikes, and organizing this whole going out and picketing places. He's this main person and organizing all this. Well, he said this person said something about him that he shouldn't have. He was wrong. And he's going to sue WGA if they don't get rid of him. So WGA talked to him. He stepped down. He's given up all his rights. Now, what did he say? That's the question. He went on Twitter. Apparently, there are a lot of people that were working on American Horror Story that he was talking to. And he said, why are you crossing the picket line? And they told him that if they cross the picket line, they will be fired from this Ryan Murphy world. He'll never give him a job again. If they shut the production down because he wants to keep shooting, if they cross that picket line, or if they don't cross that picket line, they step back and say, hey, we're not working today. They don't cross it, then they're going to get fired by Ryan Murphy and never work for him again because they shut production down. And so he made a tweet about this saying, hey, Ryan Murphy, he said, they'll be blackballed in the Ryan Murphy land if they cross the picket line. And if they don't cross the picket line, it's a big deal. And so Ryan Murphy said that's not true. That's totally slander. I never said that. Like, these people should not go there if they're not supposed to be there. It's a whole thing. So he
they working? Why the hell are they working?
Like,
everybody else is not working, and there's no threat on them. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
That's the question. Well, he stepped down, though, Mike. Now, this is the main person organizing all this stuff. And there's a strike rules compliance committee that's stepping forward, they're saying, to investigate Ryan Murphy and any potential violations. They're going to see if he is breaking rules. Then if they are, they could suspend him or expel him from the WGA, or just give him a monetary fines, or just censor him or something from the actual union, which is probably what would happen. It'll probably be a fine. And the thing is, like, for me, I'm like, everybody else is shut down. LA, everything's pretty much shut down. There's only a few productions still shooting. New York, you only have 3. They're all his. And it's been a problem where they keep picketing. They've actually changed their call times so that the people can't find them. It's been a whole thing. So it's like, are all those scripts written? I don't know. But, if you are in the WGA, for me at least, you're in WGA and you're also a showrunner, you should shut your production down. I'm just saying that's what you should do. Majority of them have. Majority showrunners have shut their productions down. They said, hey, it's a conflict of interest. I can't keep shooting. But Ryan Murphy hasn't done that. So the union had one after him. And what happened? Now he got fired. What's that say? I mean, for me, this should be solidarity. It's supposed to be SAG right now until next Wednesday. They extended their contract. On Wednesday, they could strike too, and then everything will really be done. Ryan Murphy will have to shut down. But, like, why do you fight your own union? That's the question today. Like, we know this strike's been going on. Why are you fighting people? Why are you putting your members in these weird situations when you're a writer yourself? It's hard for me to swallow. And Ryan Murphy has contributed a lot to Hollywood, helped out a lot. Like I said, Corn Sweat got his career. A lot of actors got their careers. A lot of people built their career members, like crew members, have gotten huge careers based off him, and it's great. But where's the line get drawn? Rachel, what do you think? Should he be shooting right now? Should this even be an issue, or should he be shut down and this guy still be working, fighting for the big fight for the writers?
I think any production should be shut down right now. I think anyone who's filming right now is a piece of shit. Ryan Murphy, I've always kind of had mixed feelings on him, like as a person. Like he's always kind of had sketch vibes to me. He's definitely crossing lines because like there's no way he's not doing any writing work on that show right now.
I don't believe it.
He's definitely doing writing work. 100%. So he's definitely in violation. I think that he should definitely face stronger consequences than a fine. Fines are just a cost of doing business for rich people. They don't care about fines. So he needs a stronger consequence than that because he didn't give a fuck about a fine. He's got like 8 shows right now. He doesn't give a shit about a fine. He's like, all right, fine, whatever. My show's not being delayed. I'll be the only one on air because I kept filming. That's what he cares about.
He wants to make that fall deadline. That's what it is. And a lot of productions want to make those deadlines too, but unfortunately, we're in a situation where you can't make those deadlines.
Right. Let's be honest. His shows have not been good for a while. The most recent season of American Horror Story, I couldn't even watch. I got so bored. And like the last 2 or 3 seasons of American Horror Story have not been good. American Crime Story has been interesting. I've never heard of American Sports Story.
This is the first season coming. Yeah, it's the first season coming forward. And that's probably why they're pushing it too. I think it's about a soccer team.
Consequences, and it's bad news that they got rid of the person that he was finding to be adversarial.
And he actually came forward and said like, you know, I shouldn't have tweeted this and it was wrong for me to do that. And he took his tweet down and all that, but they still like you have to step down. Yeah. And the end of the day, but he's also trying to, you know, even if you're Ryan Murphy being like, hey man, I'm in solidarity, maybe be like that, as opposed to being like, oh, I'm gonna sue you now. Like that's also like a weird thing to do. Like you're gonna go sue your union member who's fighting for you. It's tough. And I love the people that work on American Horror Story. I've worked on that for years, and they were great people. Crew members great, cast members great. The producers are all great. I mean, it's just, but it comes down to like the dollar bill these days. People just care about their pocketbooks as opposed to doing what's actually right. That's what it comes down to. Well, it's like just do what's right.
And the lower level people are being, like you said, they're being put in a really bad position by Ryan Murphy, because if you get blacklisted by someone as major in television as Ryan Murphy, you're gonna have a really hard time with your career. So it's a really difficult position, and he should not be putting people in that position.
It's very tough because most of these people, they follow him from show to show to show too. He's very loyal, which is great. It's great when you have that. He's very loyal to his crew members. It's fantastic. But that he's also like put him in a bad situation right now, which isn't cool because you really can't do anything about it. You know, like no one can do anything about it besides him. End of the day, the buck stops at him. And if he wants to keep forcing the shooting, then he's going to keep forcing the shooting. I also am kind of not sure that all these scripts are written, but you never know, I guess. You know, maybe they were actually really busy. Mike, do you think this is a fair thing that he's doing, putting his crew members in this position? Or do you think that he should be shut down, you know, right now and just like wait this out?
Come on, man. Brian, you asked a question earlier, which is like, what is motivating an action like this? And I am reticent to opine too much, especially like when you, for example, are much closer to this kind of an issue, and this issue in particular, than I am. Like, what motivates that kind of behavior? Like, what, you think that your union mates are overly indulgent, or you're trying to exploit the situation to get a little bit of heat on yourself? I don't know, Brian. What would make you make that kind of a move? Like, completely non-cynically, what would motivate you to do something like that?
To keep shooting like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I the only thing I can think about on his front, probably what it is it's the actual networks that are giving him like shit, because he is in communication with these networks. He's all these deals.
Everybody else is on the same page. Like,
you asked really that question, Mike. Yeah. I don't think Brian would. Brian wouldn't do that, because Brian cares about everyone down the line. Ryan Murphy doesn't give a shit. He's so high up that he is unaffected by these contract negotiations because he also has his producer credit.
My empathy as far as it possibly could extend, because it honestly does seem like bizarre.
Well, and you're doing more than Ryan Murphy, because he is not giving a shit about any other writers.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
It's the same thing. It's like what I was saying. It's the same thing. It's like it comes down to money. It comes down to the networks. It comes down to, him not wanting to lose that money. A lot of showrunners, look at the Duffer Brothers. I go to that. The Duffer Brothers, they were shooting their last season of Stranger Things, right? And they shut down. As soon as this happened, they're like, we're writers, we're showrunners, we're shutting down shop. There's no way. And they were like, and of course, like they haven't been around as long as Ryan Murphy, but they said the same thing. As a showrunner and the writer of this show, I can't for one part, like go to set. I can't have anybody go to work because I know how I know the process.
Does it not?
The process from day one till you're wrapping is like you're always writing on set. There's always changes happening on set because great things come up. The same thing with Deadpool right now. They're shooting Deadpool 3, and apparently Ryan Reynolds can't improv. Do I believe that's happening? No, I do not believe that's not. I mean, he's fucking for sure improving right now today on set. You know what I mean? Like that thing. Like it's just being a good person and like being like, let's just follow the rules for once. But this business that happens a lot. SAG before I've talked about like our old president took her production to Canada so she could avoid SAG rules. You know what I mean? So these things happen in these business, and it's very unfortunate because the people that suffer are everybody below the line. And they can't say anything because they have to pay their bills. And these are the people that are suffering right now. All the crew members right now are suffering. And only those people that are working for Ryan Murphy right now are actually still working. That's not fair because then what happens is you don't have that pressure on the productions to actually figure out this situation, end this strike, get everybody back to work. So I think what he's doing is very unfair to the whole business in general. Even if it's all written, I think you have to stand up and be like, we got to do something right. I'm a figurehead. I have to say something about this and I have to make a stance so everybody else does it because I'm high up. And that's what I've always saw for actors too. It's badass shit. He should be on that picket line.
He's a scab.
He's a scab ass shit. Yeah. But to be a badass, you step forward and you do what's right, and then that can actually help. And then also, as a producer, you can put the pressure on the AMPTP to make moves, as opposed to just like letting this shit fizzle out and people like break their bank till they go back to work and sign a measly deal. It doesn't help anybody besides the actual studios, and that's what he's doing at the end of the day by still working. And I love his production teams. I love the crew. I love them all. At the end of the day, though, Ryan, this is a bad move. That's all I'm saying. It's a bad move. And you know what? Honestly, you have a lot more money than me.
This passion from a union man is making me tear up. I think you can see I'm getting a little misty here. Like, I love that. I love that love for your brothers in the industry around the world. Like, and I think you're right. I don't think you should try to fuck each other over. I think you gotta.
No, this is not the time.
I'm happy to hear you say that.
Yeah, this is not the time for this shit. Put it all aside. I know this is Hollywood, dog eat dog, all that shit. But like, put that aside for a second and think of everybody as human beings that are suffering right now and that actually need to make a living, a multi-billionaire. Think about that for a second. That's all I can say. Because they're all busting their ass for you. They deserve better. You just deserve better. Everybody does. And I hope this strike ends soon. Hopefully, if SAG does strike on Wednesday, it helps nip this in the butt and we all get back to work because we need to. We've suffered enough. And people deserve to make a living wage, and that's it.